part took me longer, 3 months, because I have to bend these. I have to heat them up really good and get them moist and bend them and tie them back.
And you say this house was even moving this way?
It was right here.
Oh,
That's where it was. When it freezes, the ice comes up like that and warps my floor. There's maybe some kind of a stream going out, because when I go under there and work on my house, I could hear a water flow.
Really?
Water rushing.
So the whole build retrofit model was chosen because there are a lot of state resources out there that can work with communities to make the energy efficiency improvements, but they're all generally on their own schedule. So this is an attempt to try to bring all the resources together at once at a time in 2008 when oil prices were really, really high and communities were just suffering through the cost of energy. So we recently went back to the village just to assess 5 years later what did work, what didn't work, what can we learn from, especially as we move forward and look at planning for other regions and other communities.
The most critical energy issue in Nightmute today?
The heating fuel. Heating fuel's like $8.50 a gallon here.
Wow.
And the gas is like $8 a gallon. That's what I want to try and fix.
So the things that were done were generally lighting and building insulation and building shell improvements. The heating systems for the building and some buildings were improved too. So then you have a tighter shell, a ventilation system to keep the air fresh.
Before it was colder and a lot of draft would come in, both from the doors, the windows, even the floor. The floor would be colder in wintertime. And then since the weatherization, I noticed that there's less draft coming in our house. It's warmer. The floor is a little warmer. And I mean, I'm grateful that the air vents and the air ducts been installed into our home, which makes it more easier for my health and my children's health. Before that, my daughter was, breaking out in hives before.
And previous to the retrofits, people had to wear bunny boots or sorels inside because the floor was uninsulated, never been insulated. It was built in 1947, and it was falling apart. Literally, the roof was leaking, and it was taking the building out within a few short years.
Like before, it was, even though the heat is on, it never gets warm, just a little. But now, it's good.
Did more people start coming to church?
It's not that cold anymore.
That's great.
Those ceiling tiles that you see in office buildings, they were nailed up to the roof trusses, directly to the trusses. There was no vapor barrier, and they were falling down. So it was just a wash of air going through this building. It was kind of like a visqueen shelter in here. So we came back, took that ceiling down, put this plywood ceiling up, and air sealed it. I think it saved huge amounts of fuel, and before it was kind of almost not very viable.
Energy efficiency is the only thing that you can really control, how much energy you use. You can't control the cost. You can't control the ups and downs of petroleum or the availability of wood, but it really begins in the village itself. And I think as we develop these programs for rural Alaska, we need to first include the village in the whole process and that it also involved good building science so that whatever we do makes the home more durable, more healthy, and use less energy.
When we're done regular way we build them, and on the outside would be like a 2x6 or something mounted on the studs, and maybe put like three styrofoams and another layer of plywoods. That would be just like a warm coat for the house. If that house is built like that, during the summer everything would be off. Their toyo stove or boiler and stove. They'd stack up all their heating fuel. They'd just start paying their bills and getting groceries, clothes for their kids.